Hi, I'm Treasure. Thank you for joining me. Today I'd like to talk to you about the importance of eyebrows in stage makeup. Eyebrows are one of the most important communicators of emotion, and yet this is an area that I see dancers neglect when they're applying their stage makeup. So let's talk about some things you can do to help your eyebrows make a bigger impact on your performance. The first and most important thing that you need to do is be sure that your hair is not obscuring your eyebrows and that they're darkened enough that they can be seen from across the room. In order to get your brows that dark, you're going to need to use a pencil. Brow powder is just not enough. And the shape is very important. In almost all instances, the tail of the brow will need to be extended, and in some cases, the brow will need to also be thickened. Another way that shape can impact is to kind of communicate emotion. If you have a very peaked eyebrow, this gives a very impish, kind of evil feel. So you see this a lot in silent movies where the villain is drawn peaked eyebrows on their makeup. So if that's something that you're trying to convey, then use that to your advantage. Similarly, the tail, if the tail of the brow is drawn in a downward way, this makes the eyes look very sad. So if that's not something that you're trying to communicate, then when you extend the tail, you'll want to extend it outward rather than downward. Now, if that's not the way your brows naturally grow, that's okay. Draw the shape that you need, and then you can use an under eye cover stick to obscure the tail of your natural brow. Now, if you're going to be dancing in a very large venue, let's say a venue that seats 1,500 people or more, then you're going to want to draw your eyebrow above your brow. Now, this is something that I find that dancers are very, very uncomfortable with. They think it makes them look clownish and they just don't feel good about it. So let me talk to you a bit about some reasons why you want to do that. If you draw your brow in its natural placement, as you would for performing in a smaller venue, then both lights and distance on stage causes the eye to look very small. It's very closed. And this whole area from a distance just looks like a dark spot. By drawing the brow above your eye, then you get this much more open feel, and it's much easier from a distance to be able to see all the distinct features of your eye. Now, the way that I accomplish this is I take my brow pencil and I draw the eyebrow above my eye, the shape that I want it to be. And then I take an under eye cover stick and I dab that on my natural brow to cover it up. It's important that you do it in that order, because if you put the under eye stick on first and then you try to draw on top of it, things get kind of muddy and it all just kind of messes together. You don't want that. You want things to look really distinct. So draw the shape that you want first and then go back with your under eye cover stick and blot that out. If you're finding that the under eye cover stick is not enough to cover your natural brow, then there are other techniques out there that are a little bit more difficult. There's lots of different techniques that you can find on YouTube for covering and obscuring your natural brow. In most cases, it's not necessary. Just an under eye cover stick is enough. So I hope these tips have been helpful to you. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video.